Hey everybody! Today on Argle Fump Reads, I'm going to read Part of Your World, which is another one of the Disney Twisted Tales books. Katie's here with me. She read the book too.
I actually did this time, guys. Can you believe it?
Is this the only time we've read the same book?
It's pretty rare. We have very different tastes in books.
Like, I read Babysitter's Club and you read actual books.
I read
Actual
like
adult
I
books.
read like Isaac Asimov and like Robert Hamlin.
Oh, sci-fi. Okay, well, we'll read
Yeah.
sci-fi books together. Anyway, so Part of Your World, I actually really like this one. So it's based on the Little Mermaid, and the premise is basically Ursula won at the end of the Little Mermaid, and it's 10 years later. That's what I really liked about the premise. It was really different to have the book take place 10 years later, so it's very much removed from the events of the movie, although not too removed. So Ariel doesn't have her voice, and she's living under the sea as the queen of the mer people. And Eric is just still kind of in a trance. He's kind of brainwashed by her, because that's what Ursula did. She kind of turned into Vanessa and brainwashed him. And then she was kind of, I don't know, it was a little strange for the first like half of the book, because Ursula is just being Princess Vanessa and kind of conquering nearby kingdoms, but kind of not.
Well, she's trying to conquer you, but she's basically Napoleoning it, but she doesn't quite know what she's doing, and she doesn't understand the resource limitations of her kingdom.
Yeah, and she, I think, has the same problem as the Jafar book. Is that, if the villain is too powerful, that ruins everything. There wouldn't be a story. So she can't use magic. She's a sea witch, and she can't use magic on land. Does that contradict the movie?
Not really. I mean, because the only magic she was able to use on land was basically the massive spell that she had started under the water. And they explain that she started
Okay,
this.
okay.
That's how Eric is still brainwashed, just because of the remnants of that massive spell. I thought it was more interesting of like how Ariel became queen, even though she's the youngest of what? How many sisters?
Like, 7.
Yeah, like that was. I thought that was more interesting.
They basically forced her to become queen because they didn't want to be queen. They're like, hey, you're the reason dad's not around anymore. You get to be queen. This is your punishment. Also interesting that mermaids live like thousands of years is sort of the idea. I think that's taken more from the original fairy tale, where mermaids live thousands of years, but they don't have souls. And so in the that version of the fairy tale, she kind of wants to become human to get a soul, sort of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this book kind of goes into that. I thought it was, I'm not gonna say strange. You know, I studied like Greek mythology and stuff in school, but I did not study any of this, sea creature stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
apparently, this author did, and this author knows exactly what kind of mythological creature Ursula is supposed to be. I thought she's just like half octopus, half human, but apparently she's half Titan, half something else.
Mm-hmm.
And the author, Ursula, got like super offended when people didn't know what she was. I'm like, okay, never heard of you
I feel
before.
like this book was like a millennial's manifesto in like so many ways, just because like it's the whole like 10 years later, like the promise of life is kind of faded, like the reality
Mm-hmm.
of life is sort of set in, like you have these like hopes that like the hopes and dreams you had when you were younger are sort of like fade away, and there's a certain like depression about basically the whole especially before things really kind of pick up near the end, like the a depression about the situation and
Yeah,
what was
I really
going
like
on. I
that.
mean, especially like the when Eric and Ariel are talking together alone for the first time. I mean, it really speaks to.
Yeah, it's a more mature, conversation, because, she's been the queen for 10 years and he's been under a spell for 10 years, and sort of realizing, wow, I've spent the last 10 years of my life wasted and brainwashed by an evil sea creature. And yeah, it's really different from the movie, where it's basically, oh, he's so cute. I love this guy. I've never really talked to him before, but I love him.
And they kind of develop like a mature love, like the you're moving away from the what's it called, that immature Greek, that term for immature love in Greek. It's
Hmm.
not agapos or ares. It's
Agape is the fancy one. Eros, and I forget the other
is it like
kind.
Io?
Philia is
Yeah,
friendship love. Yeah.
yeah, like they're kind of getting into that deeper. They kind of start to develop that deeper, more mature bond. Like there's actually something there, and they bond over like music and like
Hmm.
legitimate interests they both have.
Oh yeah. Eric writes, what is it? An opera. Apparently, he writes an opera, and so
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably should have known he was really interested in music, but I didn't.
Well, I mean, they just kind of, I think they just expounded upon that with the book. Like, they just kind of took a small kernel and just blew it up.
Yeah, because that's basically what his life becomes, because he's really not in control of his life. I also like the conversation when Eric stops being mind-controlled, and, his conversation with Ursula, too, is very interesting. So basically what happens about halfway through is, Ariel's friend Scuttle, Seagull, actually sees Eric's opera and realizes, oh, he's kind of in there, but in the opera, what was it? The king was still alive? Scuttle realizes King Triton's still alive. He's in that weird little...
bottle?
Yeah, he's in the bottle. I forget what the official name is for it, but he's that weird sea creature who's being held hostage by Ursula, and Scuttle gets this information to Ariel, so Ariel goes to land and breaks into the palace, and she meets some of the people who help her out, and she manages to get her voice back, but she doesn't find King Triton. And that's sort of when the stakes get raised. I think the stakes really get raised when Ursula actually kills someone and starts becoming a legitimate villain, trying to stop Ariel. So she like, I thought this was kind of an odd chapter. It really just stuck out in my mind amid all the other chapters, was when she ordered like a chest full of gold to anybody who finds and kills Flounder, and so all the fishermen just go nuts and kill all sorts of fish, and that really upsets Ariel. And then Ursula like tries to have boats go out and dropping bombs to destroy Atlantica. And Ariel realizes this, and she uses the all-powerful trident. She actually has the all-powerful trident.
Well, yeah, she's Queen of the Sea.
Yeah, but...
And she, like, busts up their armada.
She basically just creates a giant storm tidal wave, just completely destroying the armada. And it's like, you have the all-powerful trident, Ariel. You could have, I guess, used that to defeat Ursula quicker.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, but she could have hurt. But she had her father.
She would have hurt. Yeah.
It's a hostage situation where you have all this power, but you can't. I mean, it's like the. Anyway, yeah, it's like situations like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought the ending was a little rushed.
The ending did seem a little rushed. The ending is sort of Eric says he's going to give his big play opera in the middle of this courtyard, and. I'm totally forgetting why. There's a fountain that has the sea. Yeah, they were going to expose her as the sea monster.
And she just exposed herself anyway.
Using a saltwater fountain.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be this big trick, and she's like, I don't care that people know I'm just giant, huge person. I don't know, how tall is she? She's like 2-3 times as tall as a normal human.
Something like that.
Pretty terrifying, actually. I don't blame the people for being terrified. And there's some sort of dagger that... Eric used to stab her, I think.
I'm trying to remember because she had to go find a new body at some point, because apparently Vanessa is like a human soul she captured and was using her body.
No, I thought it was she's trying to find a new voice.
Oh, that was it.
So she tried to bribe people, other women into giving their voice to her because it sounded weird having Ursula's voice come out of Vanessa's body.
Oh, that's right. That. Now I remember. Yeah,
that was the subplot she was doing. Yeah,
after Ariel got her voice back, Ursula got her voice back, and that was a problem.
And that was around the same time Eric sort of, woke up from the spell.
Yep. I think that was what triggered him waking up from the spell, if I recall.
So overall, I thought it was an interesting book. It's a perfectly serviceable AU, if I can use that term, alternate universe. Usually with fanfics like that, I don't want to say it's a fanfic, but it kind of is. Usually the complaints are that the characters aren't realistic, but it sounds like
they were very realistic. Like, there was access to what they became.
Okay, I meant, well, realistic as in, yeah, they look realistic, but are they, like, true to the way the characters appear in the movie? Yeah,
that's what I meant.
Realistic in that sense. I don't know, people complained to Ursula was not, though.
No, I thought Ursula was a natural progression because, like...
She's very vain and kind of...
They never really established her motivation besides she hated Triton. And, like, they kind of made it sound like she wanted to rule Atlantica, and so her just wanting to rule the Earth world was just a natural progression of that.
Yeah, she just likes toying around with other people's lives. I get the sense that's why she sort of, like, gave people false promises and made spells. She kind of likes messing with people.
But just kind of like that Aladdin book, like I wish there had been more backstory with her. Like it would have been nice to know why she became the way she became.
Yeah.
Like it was, you kind of were. They gave you. You were itching for more, you know?
Yeah, but I liked it better than the Aladdin book simply because we had a lot more of the villain. So I thought that worked well.
And there was a lot less of the original. Like a quarter of the book wasn't just a rehash of the movie. Like the movie pieces were kind of spread throughout.
And yeah, that's like I said, this takes place 10 years after the movie, so that was good too. I mean, so it's not literally copying the movie, it's something different by itself. Okay, I think that's all we have to say. So, bye everyone.